life now.
Welcome back to my channel, everybody. And if you're new, well, hey, what's up, what's good? Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Today I'll be talking about studying at Unisa, in specifically studying your counseling in psychology there. There's 3 types of psychology honors you can do there. You can do counseling psychology, community and health psychology, and applied psychology for applied psychology for professional context. There we go. So I'm going to be talking about the counseling one. Obviously I'm going to break it up into 2 videos, so sorry. I'm going to do 4 modules now, 4 modules next week Friday, so stick around for that one. So like I'm saying, there's 8 modules in this one. There's 3 compulsory modules, and then 5 mandatory and compulsory are the same thing, sweetheart. And then there's 5 designated one for the counseling one. There's 5 for the other 2 as well, and then those 3 compulsory ones, which make 8. So obviously you can split them up into 2 separate years. I did them all in 1 year, thank the Lord. Actually, I'm really thankful I actually did it that way. So now I'm gonna give you my feedback, because obviously now people are applying and people are registering for it, so I just want you to be more prepared than I kind of was, you know. So first of all, obviously get your mindset right, get yourself in the zone of having to be a distance learner, especially if you haven't been at Unisa before. Like I was at the University of Pretoria before this, so this was like a learning curve for me. Everything was new to me, everything was, you know, unfamiliar. Also, please remember that this is the course to take if you want to go straight into masters. If you want to be an actual counselor and just a counselor, you need to take a B Psych equivalent. I have a video all on that. I'll link it up there, and I'll also put it down in the description box. So please remember, be mindful, remember that this is just a BA honors. You need a B Psych equivalent if you want to be registered with the HPCSA. Okay, cool. So first module finally is we all know my jam. It's my thing, it's my calling. I am absolutely utterly obsessed and in love. What in the world? I am so sorry. I am absolutely, honestly, so in love with it. It is a dream. It is genuinely my calling. I can't believe I kept saying the wrong word. The first module I'm going to be talking about, not the first one. This is not like in order. So it's exactly, you know, exactly what it is. It's dealing with the mind and the mental and the disorders and stuff like that. Textbook, here it is. So it's a really brilliant book. You don't actually really use it for school, so I actually bought it and I was like, wow, well, I bought this for nothing, because even for studying it's not like that mandatory, you know. But it's a really good book, especially if someone like me, like I'm saying, who's really into psychopathy and who really loves it. And obviously it's a South African perspective, so it also always makes it better to have one the South African perspective, because all my other psychology books that I have from UP are obviously American. So, well, not obviously, but they are American. So having one that's like South African also really like helps me. But then I also love it because I started an Instagram account called Cognitive Truth. So in that account I speak about and I explain mental disorders to people, so that people better understand mental disorders. So this is a really good book if you are just generally interested in mental disorders. The module in itself wasn't that difficult, wasn't that hard to understand, wasn't that hard to grasp, or maybe that's because, like I'm saying, I really love psychopathology. Assignments weren't that difficult. The module, honestly, it's not like going to twist your head or make you feel overwhelmed or something like that. Just obviously take your paces and always do everything in paces and do everything probably before the time. I'm gonna get to that with the 4th module, so yeah, but this one is not that bad. Next one I'll be talking about is developmental psychology. That's another one. This one though, it gets split into half. So obviously it's, you know, the development of a human, the development of how the brain develops, how psychopathology stuff could develop, you know, all the developmental aspects. But then it's split in half. You can either do adult or child. I did child. It wasn't that difficult either. It's a very straightforward as well module. Really nice, really calm. It's really enjoyable, if I'm being honest. I liked it. It was worth the while. And yeah, like I said, I did child, so even the child one was really interesting and it was really good, you know. I feel like child, I just prefer child because you see how everything manifests and how it builds and how it grows and how it develops and evolves and starts, you know, because by the time adulthood comes, it's very seldom that you're gonna start having a mental disorder or something when you're in adulthood, you know. I said seldom, not that it never ever happens, it definitely does, but it's seldom that it happens. Usually it will start, you know, from infancy, from in the womb, from, you know, so it's just really more captivating for me personally. Oh yeah, it's very straightforward as well. Just do what you need to do and you should actually honestly be fine. The exam a little bit more tricky, but then again, that's because it was now an online exam and not like a paper exam, so it's a little bit more tricky, but overall it's a good module. I like it. Next is psychological assessment. Ciao. I freaking wish I knew what to tell you for this module. Psychological assessments is this, I wish I could even say it's the assessment of like psyche, but like I suppose you do some like assessment stuff in the assignment, but because there's no lecturer, it's not that easy to grasp, you know. It's generally just not that easy to grasp. It's quite a difficult module, or maybe I'm literally just the ground. Yeah, it's I'm trying to find something to say, and you know, it was difficult. I just remember all the time texting my friend and we were like back and forthing, like, what is going on? Like, what is this? What are we supposed to be doing? What are we doing? What world is this? Okay, like, what? Becky in that assignment, oh my stars. Listen, it's just, yeah, it's a whirlwind of a module. So this one, I would say tackle it full on, and tackle it not first, but just make sure that you're not waiting for like the week before or a few days before. I know they really like to push things back. That's one thing about Unisa. One thing about them is they will push back assignments, boo. And it's fun in the heat of the moment, you know, when you find out, you're like, oh. But in hindsight, it just crumbles your study time. So don't slip up. If they push it to 2 weeks ahead, don't you dare, my love. Don't you dare leave it for 2 weeks later. Okay, especially a module like psychological assessment. It's just, you move with the grace of God. You see, with that module, you're moving with the grace of God. You are asking him to take the wheel, and he's still side-eyeing you because, my love, you need to do something for me to take the wheel. But yeah, good luck with that one, boo. The final one I'll be talking about in this video is ecosystemic psychology. Here is another one I don't understand. I feel like my biggest problem with this module is that the textbook in itself is so confusing. Like, who wrote that? Who edited it? Who proofread it and said, yeah, this is the vibes, this is the one, let's go with it, let's move, you know, let's publishing, let's go, chop, move. Who said that? Who decided? Who was the proofreader? I really need to know you. Like, can we communicate? Can we talk? Like, what was going on? Because if I'm telling you honestly, it's not the, I can't even, my words just went. The assembly of that book just doesn't make sense. Things are not corresponding, things are not coming together. The names of the chapters are not exactly helping you. Having to find, because you have to do a lot of work side by side with that textbook. That is one module where you really use your textbook. And like I'm saying, it's not helpful at all because that textbook is so, dear my God, it's so all over the place. It's so unfathomable. It's so, honestly, truthfully, so sadly put together and assembled that you can't even find what you need to find. Like, that textbook is the first problem. It's the first thing that like brings you down, because that textbook just, it's not comprehensible. It doesn't make sense. Why would you put it down like that? Why would you put stuff like that in a chapter like that? Why would you name the chapter like that? You're naming the chapter like that, but you're speaking about what the chapter is called in bits and bobs. I understand you're supposed to, yeah, you know, spread it out, but spread it out in a cohesive manner. It's not a cohesive book. There we go. There's the word. It's incohesive. I could spend the whole of this video telling you how incohesive that book was. That module, again, you're gonna be walking with the grace of God, because that module is really just, it's a lot. And there's so much to do for that module. There's so many assignments, there's so many, like, it's just kick those assignments in the butt. Ooh, kick them in the BU double T. You have to, because whoa, some of the assignments aren't, like, mind-bendingly difficult, but so yeah, especially when you do those ones, really make sure that you kick it. And another nice thing about Unisa though is that it really does tell you how much percentage everything costs. So just really make sure, because this is what I did not do either, just really make sure that when you're doing an assignment, make sure that you're looking at the percentage and how much it weighs, so that when you're doing it, you know that you need to put extra effort. Because I mean, obviously I would assume you're gonna put your best foot forward for every single assignment, but just make sure if it's like a 50% or an 80% weighing, make sure you're putting your everything into it, and make sure that you're going to kick its butt. Because if you do that, obviously when the adding ups come together, it's going to work in your favor. So just always try to do things that are working in your favor. Like I'm saying, don't leave things for the last minute. I know I said this in my previous psychology help video, but you know what, listen, I'm like being dead ass, like dead grass. You gotta make sure that you do your things ahead of time, because that's the only way to really save yourself. I know they'll push things back, I know, and I know you'll be happy about it, but just, babe, please, hey, like, try and do it at least a week before or something like that. Yeah, I can't give you every single ounce of help right now. I will probably definitely think of more things when the cameras are cut, but that's why there's a second thingamajig, so that I can relay even more help and more assistance to anyone who's going to do their counseling at Unisa. So I think this is it for the end of this video. I'm not going to say any more. I'm not going to blab on some more. I really hope these dogs always want to bark when I'm recording, always. Anyway, I really hope these two videos honestly help anybody who wants to do their honors here, and I hope you really have a really good year. It's a good year, I don't know if distance learning is for me, because I really am like a listening while I learn kind of person, but it wasn't like horrendous, it wasn't horrific, it was up and down. Everything's always up and down with me. I'm not really big on studying, I'm not big on, I can't follow myself, I'm not good at following myself and making sure that I do everything right. That's why when I give all these advices, I know how to give them right, because I know what I do wrong, because I know my personality type and I know who I am. But anyway, yeah, I hope this helped you, and I hope you have a good year. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you next week. Bye.